All right, good morning. We're just going to go ahead and start with a nice big breath in, and then we're going to exhale. So today we're going to warm up. We're going to start in on the floor. So we're going to do warm up standing and then go down to the floor, and we will start our workout, our stretching and whatnot on the floor, and eventually work our way to standing. Grab something to put underneath your knee or knees, because we will be doing some child's pose and some half kneeling positions, so that might be a little uncomfortable for you. You can always do a lot of these standing. That's perfectly all right. Good. Bring the arms down. We're going to just roll the shoulders up, back, and down into our back pocket. The plan is I'm going to hopefully we'll be able to do shoulder dislocates and band pull aparts. So if you want to do those with us, have a light to medium band nearby. And this side is super crunchy today. Like, it's not painful, but I can just kind of feel it. Good. Shoulders down, easy ear to shoulder, side to side. And then bring it up, and we're going to look to one side and then look to the other. So we're really just going for movement. Don't have to worry about trying to go fast or try to go really far. We're just getting those joints warmed up. Bring it in the center, open big, and then give yourself a nice big hug. It's just a swing. Trying to get the body warmed up. This is also a good time to do an assessment. So like I assessed, and the left side of my body is crunchy. Today it's definitely tight. I was stretching in bed this morning and my left hip joint popped, or I should say my SI joint popped. It was kind of that low, and you know what I mean? It's not like the sharpshooting pain, it's that deep thunk kind of pop. And I was like, oh, okay, that's how the day's gonna go today, apparently. Bring it in, and we're going to step to the side, bring the arm across the body like we're wiping everything off of a table. So when we do this assessment, like I just kind of felt a teeny little twinge in my knee. So it just means I'm going to be cautious today. I'm going to make my range of motion a little bit smaller. I'm not going to go as deep. And I'm really just going to kind of listen to it. And when I teach my next class, I will probably run downstairs and go grab my brace, just to be on the safe side. Here's 2. Keep the side tap. Now we're going to reach up, wash the windows, which tis the time of year, at least around here, where a lot of people wash their windows or get their windows washed. Let somebody else do it. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center. Feet hip width apart, toes pointing forwards. And we're going to do our hip circles. Change direction. Into the center. We're going to take our feet out just a little bit, so kind of a duck foot. And same thing, just nice good hip circles. Usually do about 5. And change direction. Bring it in. Last one, just a little bit of an internal rotation. This used to be called pigeon toe. And then same thing, just nice good circles. Change direction. Bring it in, carefully shake those legs out, and now we're going to do our front to back swings. This is the one, feel free to hold on to something. This is a good way to work on some stability, but I definitely want you to hold on to something if you need to. So I want you to focus on the exercise right now more than focusing on the balance. There's 2 and 1, switching over to the other leg. The most important thing with these next couple of exercises is to make sure there's nothing around you that you're going to accidentally kick. but you also want to think about your core. So on the way back, it's a little glute squeeze, and on the way front, it's just a nice good swing, a little bit of hip flexors, a little bit of core. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. I'm going to face the wall. I like to step back a little bit so I have the space in front of me, and same thing. I'm just going to do a nice good swing. Take the leg out, bring it across. I'm going to move over a little bit. I've got a kettlebell right here that is just itching to hit my foot. So we want to go out and cross. Now it can be a smaller lift and a smaller cross. You don't have to make it huge. There's 2 and 1, and then we're going to switch. Same thing on the other side. So just out and in. So your standing leg is nice and secure. When you do a bigger cross in front, you are going to be doing a little bit of rotation at that hip. So you have to find that movement that feels good and that does not cause pain and discomfort. And I'm kind of feeling this in my hamstring today, strangely enough. Good. 2 and 1. And it lets me know that I've got some goofy stuff kind of going on with my hip and into my knee, which makes sense with my knee being irritated. So let's take our legs nice and wide. We're going to do our double side lunge and double side lunge. And for me, these are the movements, like when I have that irritation on the inside of my knee, these are the movements I need to be more careful of because I'm putting a little bit more pressure on the inside of the knee. Like here, doesn't feel too bad, but when I sit back into it, I really have to think about where my knee position is. So same thing goes for you. Sometimes when you're doing an exercise, if it's uncomfortable, check your body position. Make sure you have good alignment. Make sure everything is pointing in the direction it's supposed to, and sometimes that will help. But for me, it's when we do these ones where my leg is a little bit more straight that it feels a little bit more irritated. Good. Bring it into the center. We're just going to sit the hips back a little bit. Standing cat-cow. Inhale. And then exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. This is going to be one of our first exercises when we go down to the floor. Good. Let's do one more. Let's go ahead and bring it up. We're going to keep our legs pretty straight, nice and wide. We're going to hinge front, middle, and back. So we're going to take it forward, middle, and back. And if you're really tight, if you're not very flexible, you don't have to get to the floor. The challenge is to keep the legs straight, which means your knees stay straight as well. And we're keeping our spine straight. And this is a hamstring stretch. Now, hopefully, as you start to move through this, you start to loosen up and you may be able to get to the floor, or if not, just try to get closer to the floor. This is a good one if you're really tight and you have a step bench. Straddle your step bench and you can reach towards the bench. So you can start with a higher bench and then work your way down. Good. Forward, middle, and back. Last time, forward, middle, back. Carefully bring yourself all the way up. Keep the legs nice and straight. Get your blood flowing where it's supposed to. We're going to do our side lunge, bring it up, and then we're going to add that little bit of a rotation. So we're opening the top shoulder towards the ceiling, reaching the arm, opposite arm towards the floor. It's okay if you're here, okay? Or you may even be here if you're really tight. Everybody's different. Find the range of motion. I've got people that I might look good, and then I see some other people like online, and it's like, yeah, my body doesn't do that. Good. We're going to do a couple more. Here's 2 and 1, and we're going to go down into our plank. We're going to do our down dog to plank. I'm going to turn just because I don't have a lot of room. We're going to take it all the way down. Nice, good plank position. And we're just going to lift up, down dog, and then into a plank. Down dog and plank. This is a good one to do in an incline. And we are going to be doing this again, but we're going to do a down dog to an up dog variation. This is a really good one for core, for shoulders, hamstrings, and calves. Good. Let's do a couple more. Down and lift. Good. Let's carefully come down to our knees. Or you can come up to standing. We're going to grab a quick drink of water if you've got it. And then this is where go ahead and make sure that you have that pad for underneath your knee. And I am going to also turn on my fan because it is October 3rd. And I think it's supposed to be in the 80s today. And I'm in the Midwest. I don't think this is normal. I feel like the weather is getting kind of goofy right now. All right, so we're going to run through our different exercises, and I'm just going to set a timer for a minute. So we're going to start with cat-cow. I'm going to set a timer for a minute, and we're going to do each exercise for about a minute. So nice, good hands and knees position. You can be on the pad if you need to, your rolled up mat, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread your fingers. That's going to help disperse the weight across your entire hand. And we're just going to cat-cow for a minute, and your time is on. So take a nice deep breath in, gentle arch to the back, pull the shoulders down and back, lengthen, lift your head. And then we're going to exhale and tuck your spine and look down. Good. So we're going to open, and then we're going to press. Go at your own speed. That's why I'm setting a timer today. So I want you to really think about going for time versus reps or speed. When we do these, we want to make sure that we're not arching and bringing our ears up towards our shoulders. Lengthen your neck, lengthen your upper body, and push the floor away. If you don't want to do the arch and the round, because you were told not to do this, then I want you to just belly breathe, which means you hold a neutral spine and you breathe in, expand the belly, and then you exhale and pull the belly in. Good. Here's 2 and 1. We're going to keep this nice, good position. And I want you to go for scapular push-up. So that's the one where we keep our core braced, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then push the floor away. Time is on. So this is, again, shoulders away from the ears, long neck. Squeeze the shoulders together, push the shoulder blades apart. So squeeze them together, push them apart. This is a good one if you're struggling doing this on the floor. Do this one against a wall. Just make sure that your hands are straight out in front of you. So now there's no spinal movement. We're working on serratus anterior, which if you've ever seen somebody that has a lot of muscle, very defined muscle, it's the muscles that are underneath your armpit, right on the side of your body, around your ribs, that kind of look like fingers. So they kind of look like fingers that have reached around. Good. We've got about 15 seconds, and we're going to sit it back into a child's pose. And we're just going to walk it side to side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's go ahead and sit it back into child's pose. Your time's on, so we're just reaching out, and we're going to start with a little bit of a reach. Set the hips back towards the heels, and now we're going to walk it side to side. So I want you to take it over to the right, sit back into a little stretch. You're going to feel a stretch on the left side. Now walk it over to the left. Keep sitting back. You're going to stretch, feel that stretch on the right side. So I'm just going to alternate my walking. Hold that stretch for a few seconds, and then walk it over to the other side. And if you're feeling one side that is super tight today, feel free to hold that stretch for a little bit longer before you switch over to the other side. Our next exercise is going to be alternating between an up dog and a down dog. Good. All right, so come up to your hands and knees position, and we're gonna start by taking the legs a little bit wide. And I want you to point your toes and think about coming up to a variation of up dog. Hold it, tuck your toes under, and now you're gonna lift up into a down dog position. Come back forward, carefully come down to your knees, point your toes, and you're gonna be in that up dog. So again, this one is slow and steady. Tuck the toes under, lift up, down dog, come back forwards, carefully bring the knees down, point the toes, and up dog. Tuck the toes under, down dog, and I know you probably can't hear it, but I have crunching going on in my pelvis today, right in that SI joint area on both sides. So just take your time, slow and steady. Our next exercise is we're going to come down onto hands and knees, but we're going to be on our forearms. Good, about 5 more seconds. 2 and 1. Good. So come up to hands and knees, and we're going to drop down to our forearms, and we're going to do an alternating torso rotation and alternating open book. So we're just going to take one hand, open, come back to our forearm, switching sides, open, and center. So time's on, so we're just doing a minute. So just a nice good open and down. Hand, I like to do hand behind the ear. If you prefer, you can always just open, reach the hand to the ceiling, and come back down. But think about using that arm that's on the floor to push the floor away. That's going to help keep our torso in a good position. Make sure we're keeping our hips over our knees. And again, we just open and close. Good, we've got about 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to carefully come back up to a kneeling position, and we're going to do alternating hip openers. So if it's a good kneeling position, you can start with your hips by your heels. Right hand is going to go on top of our right heel. We're going to squeeze our glute. We're going to reach up and back, and then we're going to come back down, and then we're going to switch. So reach it up and then bring it down. So time's on. If this one doesn't work for you with the hand and all of that kind of fun stuff, all I want you to do is I want you to squeeze and reach back like you've got an itch. And then same thing, squeeze the glute, reach back like you've got an itch on the back of your leg and you're trying to stretch it, trying to scratch it. But if you can, squeeze, open, bring it down. And I have to say, we don't do these a lot, but I can absolutely tell that I can do these more, like I can go farther back than I used to be able to when we first started doing these. So change does happen. Progress happens. It's slow. And a lot of times it's not something you notice because you deal with it every single day. Good, we've got about 7 more seconds, and we're going to go all the way down onto our tummies. Good. All right. Bring it in. We're going to go all the way onto our tummies, just to give our hands and wrists and knees a break. And we're going to start with scorpions, and we're going to alternate. Now you can do all on one side 30 seconds and then switch, but I'm just going to take my arms out, bring one hand in. I'm going to roll into one side, return to center, switch my hands, roll into the other side. slow and steady. So again, I will tell you when it's halfway. So if you just want to hold a stretch on one side for 30 seconds, I'll tell you when to switch. I'll give you a little heads up. You can do this against a wall. Our goal is to keep the chest and the arm that's on the floor close to the floor. Just feel a good stretch, and maybe you don't go very far. That's okay. Good. If you're going to do half and half, you've got 3, 2, 1. So we're halfway through our 1 minute. So if you're just holding on one side, switch over to the other. I know people that can do this a lot faster and just roll from one side to the other. My chest does not approve. So I go slow and steady. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully bring it up. We're going to come up into our half kneeling, and we're going to start with our Captain Morgan. And this is the one where I will almost guarantee you should have something underneath at least one knee, if not both, when we get to that point. But we're going to take our legs into a half kneeling position, and this is the one where we open out to the side. So think about, if you've ever seen the Captain Morgan rum bottles, that's why I call it this, is because the captain is standing with his foot up. That's why I call these that. But we're just going to keep our hip, knee, and toe pointing forwards. This hip is opening out to the side, and we're just going to press that knee out, and then we're going to come back up nice and tall. Your time is on. And this one, it's kind of a technique thing. We want to think about our knee pressing over our second toe, and if it doesn't do that, if your knee kind of curls in, turn the toe in a little bit or bring the hip in a little bit. It just means that maybe your hip doesn't like to open that far. We also want to think about our body position. Tuck your tail. Sometimes we do this and we sit our hips back towards our heels. I want you to tuck your tail like you're holding something nice and heavy behind you. We're going to go out and we're going to come back in. So we're going to do 3 exercises on the right side, and then we're going to switch and do the same 3 exercises on the left. So we've got about 15 seconds, and then we're going to do a hip flexor to hamstring, and we have done this one before. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. I'm going to turn just so everyone can see. So we're going to do a good tuck. We're going to do our hip flexor, so we're going to press the hip flexor forwards, feeling a good stretch, and then we're going to switch our weight back, hinge it back, and if you can, we're going to go a little bit forwards. So time has started, so it's just hip flexor, good stretch, and then take it back and just try to straighten the leg in the front. If you need to hold on to something, go for it. Put hip flexor on the back leg and then hamstring on the front leg. And I know some of you can maybe go forwards and deepen that stretch. But this is just going to kind of depend on your hamstrings. I feel a stretch right here. I am not ridiculously flexible. I spent way too much time over the last few years sitting, and I can absolutely tell that I was not moving as much. It makes a difference, and it kind of sneaks up on you. So nice, good stretch. Nice, good stretch. If you can go a little bit more forward, go for it. Good. 3, 2, 1. All right. How you get into this position, no judgments, but I'm going to take my hands to the floor. I'm going to bring my leg around. I want you to come into either a 90-90 or a pigeon. Okay. I'm taking this pad out from underneath my knee. So option 1 is just a good 90-90, holding on one side. Option 2, maybe you can get that back leg a little bit straighter. So option 1 is we're going to go down and hold, or we go down and then we come back up again. So this is another moving one. So we go down, hinge, and then we come back up again. Having your back leg bent is going to be a little bit easier than trying to keep it straight. But if you can keep it, you know, straighter, great. But we're going to hinge it forwards. And then we're going to come up nice and tall. And if you can come up a little bit taller and squeeze the glute, great. How low you go, how high you go is 100% up to you. All the way up. And I do not have the flexibility to take my leg perfectly straight, but I'm able to get it straighter. And then after this, we're going to come back up, switching over to the other side. Captain Morgan. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring it up. Carefully bring that back leg in. We're going to come up into our half kneeling position again. So same thing. We're going to come up half kneeling. Nice and tall. We're going to take this leg and we're just going to open it out. It might be out towards a corner. This leg on me can go a little bit farther out. Tuck your tail, squeeze your glute, press the knee out and in. So we have about a minute. So we're just going to take that leg out. And then we're going to come back in again. You can always take it out and hold it. So don't feel you absolutely 100% have to go out and in. I know sometimes this is just really uncomfortable on the inner knee on the leg that's on the floor, especially if you don't have anything underneath your knee. But if you can, take it out and push it back. This foot, you want to have it out far enough that your heel and your foot is able to stay flat on the floor. If you feel like your heel is lifting up off of the floor when you press out, just take this lower leg and your foot out just a little bit farther. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So now we're going to do that hip flexor hamstring. So I'm just going to bring my foot around to the front, but you can turn your body to the side. Whatever feels better. Tuck your tail, squeeze your glute. We're going to press it forwards. Feel that stretch. And then we're going to take it back. And I want you to just try to straighten your knee and pull your toe up towards the ceiling. So we take it out. Nice, good stretch. And then again, we press it back, straighten the leg, pull the toes up to the ceiling. I feel a stretch here. So for those of you that are like me, maybe not so flexible in the hamstrings, then that is perfectly good for stretching. I do know people that can do, you know, a hip to heel and can do a forward fold. Great, if your knees allow it. If they don't, do what you can. If you have to stay standing here, you're going to do a hip flexor, press the knee forwards, and then you're going to shift your weight to your back leg, and then you're going to do kind of a deadlift, like a little hinge, and reach for your toes. So you can absolutely do this in a standing position, especially if your knees are saying, nope, I'm out, this is not for me today. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. We're going to come up for that pigeon. So again, if you can, I just bring the foot across, hands down, and then I just shift into that hip. But again, no judgments how you get there. Everybody's body and hips is a little different. We're going to come into that good 90-90 position, and we're going to take it forwards. And then we're going to come up nice and tall. The straighter the leg is in the back, the more challenging this is going to be for you, because you're also going to be stretching the hip flexor on the back leg, getting a little extra in there. So if you can take it a little farther back, like this leg, because of my front leg being a little bit more loose, a little more flexible, my back leg, I can get it pretty straight, and I'm almost on top of my thigh, kind of in a split position. My other leg, I could not do that. So when we were going the other direction. So this is kind of an interesting way to look at your flexibility and to see the differences between one side and the other. So for me, this one is just more comfortable. It just kind of worked out that way, the way my hips move. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Carefully bring it in. We're going to go for our world's greatest stretch. So come over onto hands and knees, and we're going to take our right foot by our right hand, and we're going to add in that thoracic rotation. You can have something underneath your back knee. We're going to do a minute on the right and then a minute on the left, and then we're going to come to standing. So your time's on. So you can always just start right here. Do a little assessment, see how you feel. How are you doing today? You can take your front leg, you can add a little wiggle. You want to add in your torso rotation and movement now, go for it. But for a lot of us, just hanging out here for a minute is going to feel good. And then I'm going to reach my forearm towards the floor, and I'm going to rotate towards the ceiling. So forearm towards the floor, open to the ceiling. You have the option to do this standing. I encourage you to do this with a chair. So one without wheels. You can just have your hands on the seat of the chair. Your front leg is going to be by the side of the chair. You step forwards, and then we take it down, and we rotate and bring it up. 10 seconds, and then we're going to switch sides and do the same thing. 3, 2, 1. Good. Carefully bring it up. How you get to the other side is completely up to you. I'm going to carefully come to my half kneeling position, drop my back knee towards the floor, and your time is on. So your first option is just hold it. Just hold the stretch. And then again, I'm going to take my front leg, and I'm just going to very gently do a little bit of a side-to-side wiggle. And now I'm going to bring my forearm down. I'm going to do forearm towards the floor and then open towards the ceiling. So it's a good hinge. They call this world's greatest stretch because you're getting hip flexors, you're getting hamstrings, you're getting inner thighs, torso rotation. You're really stretching your body, and you're getting in some mobility and movement. You can have your hands elevated. You can have your back knee in a little bit farther. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully bring it up. I'm going to walk myself back up to a standing position. Take your time. Again, no judgments how you get here. Roll yourself up, slow and steady. No blood rushing to a bunch of crazy different places. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. And then we're going to work on some shoulder movement. I got a lot more lower body today, but we do have upper body as well. But we're going to start with shoulder angels, and if you want to do this against a wall, great, you can. I want you to tuck your tail, keep your ribs tucked, and I want you to think about taking your hands down, shoulders down and back, and really imagine you're pressing your hands against a wall. We're going to bring hands up, give yourself a pat on the back. And then we're going to take the arms out, rotate, and reach the fingers up and back. So these are our snow angels. Take it out, open, and up, out, down, and up. Now the challenge for this, and for a lot of people, if you have tight shoulders, what tends to happen is you start to come up in the front, and we wind up bringing the elbows in. I really want you to try to keep the hands back, and if you just, get your hands to your head or the back of your head, and maybe down here you just get to your hips, that's all right. We're just trying to bring it up and back, keep the core tight, take it out and down, and then bring it back in. Out, up, and around. Good way to do this is to actually put your hands on an open wall. Hips against the wall, back against the wall, feet are a few inches away to help you stay steady, and then try it and see what happens. Here's 2 and 1. We're going to take our hands down. We're going to basket weave our fingers. We're going to lengthen our elbows, shoulders down and back, and we're just going to tilt our head side to side. So we want to try not to be here and elbows bent. We really want to pull the shoulders down and back into your back pocket, lengthen, squeeze them together, and then just a nice good side to side head tilt. Good, bring the head up. Now we're going to turn and look to one side and turn and look to the other. So still keeping the fingers woven, shoulders down and back, elbows straight. Nice good side to side. Good, 10 seconds. Three, two, one, bring it in. We're going to start with half circles. So turn and look to your right, tuck your chin, draw a smiley face until you're looking at the floor on the other side. Look to the other side and turn to the center. Turn, tuck, smiley face, and return. So turn, tuck, trace your collarbone with your chin all the way up and back in the center. Turn, tuck, circle, and back in. Turn, tuck. So it's just a nice good side to side. Good, we've got about 20 seconds. Good, and keeping that head in line with your shoulders. Good, 2 and 1. Bring it into the center. Go ahead and grab your band if you've got it. We're going to do our dislocates for a minute, and we're going to do our pull-aparts for a minute. So for the pull-aparts, I would say do right side, left side, and then both, and just continue on that way. But we're going to start with our shoulder dislocates. So grab that band. 3, 2, and 1. So we just start up and around and try to bring the thumbs together in the front, and then open, up, and around, press it back, and then open the thumbs back behind you. So we're adding in a little internal rotation right here of the shoulders. Externally rotate, circle it around, bring it down, and again, externally rotate here. So forward, up, and around, and in, out, straight arms, and here. Now I know some people really struggle with this one. You can absolutely just do arm circles, or I do this with some of my other students. Put on your coat, take off your coat, okay, and go in both directions. So that's just an option for you to get some shoulder mobility in if you're really struggling with your shoulders today. Good. Bring it in. Take those arms out in front. Band pull-aparts in 3, 2, 1. Good. So arms are out. We're going to do right, left, and then I'm going to do both. Good. So right, left, both. Right, left, both. So single, single, and double. Good. 1, 1, and 2. You're over halfway. Rest when you need to. This one, I know my arms start to get really tired, especially my left one. Good. You've got about 12 seconds. We're just going to do some shoulder rolls, and we're going to finish up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out. We're just going to kind of shake out those wrists, shake out those hands, wiggle those fingers. And we're just going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down into our back pocket. Good. Take it down, ear to shoulder, side to side. Head up, look to one side, look to the other. Good. And we're just going to take a couple nice deep breaths in. Big breath in, spread the fingers, spread the toes. And exhale. Good. One more time. Big breath in. And out. You are all done.